Hello, welcome to Carol's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making two baked products. One is chocolate yogurt cake and the other is orange oat bran muffins. Both of these are going to be really tasty and nice, and I really think you're going to be fond of the chocolate yogurt cake because it's one of those low-fat, low-cholesterol type cakes, and it's really going to taste great. What we're going to start with is we're going to start with our flour. We're going to mix our dry ingredients first. And the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour. And what I've done is I've used 1 cup of regular all-purpose flour, and for the other cup I have got a hold of a new product by Gold Medal called oat flour. And this has a lot of oat bran in it, fiber, but it's a very light flour, and you can substitute it cup for any other regular flour. So what I've decided to do is do 1 cup of the oat flour and 1 cup of the all-purpose flour. So let's try these new products when they come out. This is brand new. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our 2 flours that I have mixed together. We're going to put them in a large bowl, and then we're going to add 1½ cups of sugar. Now, you don't have to use 1½ cups of sugar if you don't want to. If you're watching your sugar, you can cut this down to 1 cup, I'm sure, without affecting the recipe. But I'm going to go with the tried and true recipe today, but I'm sure you could cut back on this. So that's 1½ cups of sugar. Then, instead of using chocolate and chocolate bits, which have a lot of saturated fats and cholesterol, instead, for the chocolate flavor, we're using Hershey's Cocoa. This is a ½ cup of Hershey's Cocoa. And this will make the cake chocolatey and really good. So we'll put the cocoa in there. This is the kind of cocoa our parents used to make cocoa for us in the winter before they came out with all those packaged products. Now to that we're going to add a ½ teaspoon of salt. And a little bit of salt helps in baked recipes, so I'm not going to even suggest that you cut this out. ½ teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And baking soda is what makes things rise. So this is our leavening agent. So we'll just dump that right in there. And we're just going to kind of stir this all up. So these are our dry ingredients: the flour and the sugar and the cocoa and the baking powder. And we're just going to stir that up like that. Now we're going to work on our wet ingredients, so we'll set that aside. And we have here 4 egg whites. And I'm just going to, perhaps I should move this. We're just going to slightly beat the egg whites with a whip. Okay. Then we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of oil. And you know I always recommend using good oils. Canola oil is the best. So look for canola oil in the supermarkets. 2/3 of a cup there. And then we're going to add 1 cup of plain low-fat yogurt. This is what makes the chocolate yogurt cake a chocolate yogurt cake. We'll put that right in there. And last but not least, some vanilla, which is always great in cooking, and we're going to be adding 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. Here we are. Okay, so here's a half, and a half. Makes 1½, right? Okay. Now let's just whisk this up. I'd like to see this better. I can move this here. And we're just going to mix the yogurt and the oil in the egg whites all together. Now originally this recipe called for adding an additional whole egg. I'm not going to bother. I don't really think it's necessary or you need it. So I'm eliminating the whole egg. So there will be no cholesterol in this product. There, that's nice and smooth. Okay, so this is yogurt and oil and egg whites and some vanilla. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to add this to the flour mixture. So we're going to add this right now. This is really an easy homemade cake to put together. Not much more effort than a box cake, and it's better. Okay, now we're just going to kind of stir these things around. And then we're going to use our mixer a little bit, because we really want to get everything evenly dispersed. So we'll just kind of do this. I can smell the chocolate. Really good. They might not even need the mixer too much. All right. I think we can forego with this mixer and just mix it by hand. Okay, so we'll give this a few more stirs, and we're going to put it in the oven at 350 for 23 to 33 minutes. And that's it, chocolate yogurt cake. Forget the mixer, we don't even need it. Okay, when we return, we'll be doing the orange oat bran muffins. We have our chocolate yogurt cake in the oven, and now we're going to make some orange oat bran muffins. I think these will be really nice for a super great breakfast. They incorporate lots of oats and whole wheat flour, some honey, skim milk, and I'll go right through the whole recipe with you right now. They're easy to put together, and they're very good and nutritious as well. Now what we want to start with is we want to start with a cup of oat bran cereal. This is just plain unprocessed oat bran cereal that you can find in your supermarket. 1 cup of that. Then to that we're going to add a cup of the whole wheat flour that I had shown you before that we also use in the chocolate yogurt cake. So we're going to put a cup of that in there. Then we're going to put also a cup of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to put a cup of whole rolled oats. Now get the Quaker quick cooking rolled oats, but don't get the real old-fashioned long cooking ones. Get the 1-minute quick cooking ones for this recipe. Okay, and then we're going to add a ½ teaspoon of salt. This is 1/4, so then we'll add another 1/4. And then we're going to add, let's see, what is it? A ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon will be a nice flavor in there. And then we're also going to have a tablespoon of baking powder. Now in the other recipe we use baking soda, and in this recipe for the leavening agent we're going to use double-acting baking powder. There we go, 1 tablespoon right there. So these are all our dry ingredients, and you always stir your dry ingredients first. So we have oat bran cereal in here, we have a little bit of oatmeal in here, we have whole wheat flour and regular flour. If you want, you could use all whole wheat flour. And some cinnamon and the baking soda. These are our dry ingredients. These would be great to make on the weekend and freeze them and take them out as you want them. You can carry them to work quite often I have people who are rushing off to work and eating donuts and all kinds of things like that at work. Take one of these with you instead. They're much better. Now we're going to mix our wet ingredients. So what we want to have is we want to have 2 eggs, lightly beaten, right here. We're going to add our eggs in. Oops. Then we're going to have 1 cup of orange juice. Now here I have the old-fashioned orange squeezer. And what I did was it called for the orange peel. So I just used a regular orange. And I'm going to put the orange peel in there. That'll give it really nice flavor. And then we're going to add the juice from a fresh orange. So here goes your vitamin C right in here now. Okay. And now we want to add a 1/2 cup of honey and 1/4 cup of low-fat milk. You can either use 1% or skim milk. Low-fat milk. And this is 8 ounces of honey, so instead of dirtying another container, I'm just going to go down 4 ounces, halfway, and that'll be a 1/2 cup. Pretty good, huh? Halfway. All right, and also we need 1/3 cup of oil. And again, use canola oil. It's probably the best. Okay, we're just going to whisk this together. Mix our wet ingredients. And then we're going to add this to our dry ingredients. And then we're going to fill the muffin tins. Now the muffin tins, what I've done to save calories again is I've sprayed it with Pam. So remember to buy your Pam for cooking. And we're just going to mix these 2 things together, fill our muffin tins, and bake our muffins. This is nice with the orange rind in here. Very flavorful. So I think these are a much better idea than donuts all the time, because donuts are just loaded with fat and nothing else really. And this is something you can make and carry with you. What I'm trying to do is do things that will suit our lifestyle, which is hectic today. All right, we're going to mix this all up. Don't want to overmix any baked products, because otherwise you'll get, the flours will get tough if you keep working them too much. There. I think that's blended fine. And this will make 12 nice muffins. And we'll start, and I think I should have perhaps a spoon over here. Thank you, Mrs. Ziegler, for letting me use your kitchen. And we'll fill the muffin tin, let's say, about that high. Maybe a little bit more. These are not going to rise terribly high, so don't skimp when you fill the muffin tin. Here are the Orange Oak brand muffins, and now we're going to put them in the oven. It calls for a 400-degree oven, but I always feel that 400 degrees is too hot. So let's do this at 350 to 375 and play it safe, because I'd rather cook them a little bit longer and make sure that they don't burn. We're going to bring these over. Our chocolate yogurt cake is just coming out of the oven, and it's wonderful. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this. So let's put our muffins in. They will take about 16 to 18 minutes. So we'll check them after that. So let's go bring these over and get our cake out and see how it came out. And the oven is down here in the other section of the kitchen. I just love it. Ah. Okay, this is hot. Now I'd like everyone to see this. This is fabulous. And all you want to do with this chocolate yogurt cake is sprinkle a little confectioner's sugar on top. You don't need to add frostings and icings, because when you add frostings and icings, all you're adding is extra sugar and nothing else. So let's just put a little confectioner sugar on top, and this is boiling hot, so I'm going to put this over on the hot pad and put the muffins in. Back to the oven. This is like the galley section of the kitchen. All right, as you can see, we have a lovely double oven here, a microwave in that corner, gigantic freezer and refrigerator over here, volumes of space, and a wonderful center island. And if we do a good job, maybe we'll be invited back to do another show at Mrs. Ziegler's home. Wouldn't that be special? I'd like that. I'd like to give you a little statistics on these two products that I just made today. As far as the Orange Oat Bran muffins, they have 220 calories apiece. And you might say, oh my goodness, that's a lot of calories. But it's really not. Not when you have something like this that's going to be a substantial part of your breakfast with a piece of fruit, and there you go for the morning. It only has 8 grams of fat and 1 gram of the bad fat or the saturated fat. And because I did not add that extra egg yolk in there, we have practically 0 to 5 milligrams of cholesterol. Now on the chocolate yogurt cake, let's just review some of those statistics. The calories are not light, and I wouldn't expect the calories to be light. It's 260 calories per serving. But the thing is, think about what you have in the chocolate cake. Be realistic. People are going to still want to eat cake. So let's think of utilizing our calories in the best avenue possible. It has a low-fat value, and the cholesterol is certainly great for anybody who's watching their cholesterol fat. It's only 25 milligrams. I'd like to show you the book that I got these recipes out of. This book is put out by Puritan Oil. And what they've done is they've taken family favorite recipes or sort of traditional recipes, and they've modified them for fat, particularly fat, types of fats, and also in some cases calories. Not in all cases, but in some cases the calories. Puritan is a canola oil, which I mentioned a lot and which I feel is very good. So I think if my viewers would like to write in, and if they're interested, I'll see if I can't get some copies of this booklet off to you, as well as the recipes that we've done today. And I think you would really enjoy this. It's educational and it's fun. It has fun recipes in here, and it talks about fat in the diet, and it might clarify some of the questions which you might have. We'll wait for the muffins to come out, and then we're going to show you those when they're done. Here are the Orange Oat Bran muffins. They came out of the oven in 15 minutes at 375 degrees. You can see that I misjudged on some. Some are smaller than others. But they certainly look good to me, and they're nice and hot now, so I think some of the crew members here might want to try them. And again, I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Ziegler for allowing me to use their kitchen today and doing it on location. And perhaps we can come back again, because this was a lot of fun. Thank you, and we'll see you again on Carol's Kitchen.
If you would like a copy of any of the recipes you saw in tonight's Carol's Kitchen, such as recipe number 16, chocolate yogurt cake, or recipe number 17, orange oat bran muffins, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Carol's Kitchen, care of Carol Skoronsky, 35 Sorghum Mill Drive, Cheshire, Connecticut, 06410. And please remember to include that self-addressed stamped envelope. We always look forward to your comments and suggestions.
Todd Yoker.
And I'm Allison DeWilder.
We're the hosts of the all-new
Red Hat game show called
Sing Along. Hi, I'm Zig.
And I'm Lynn.
And we're the hosts of an all-new music video show.
Call Air Jammin'.
So tune in to Dimension Cable's public access channel. Position number 8.
And watch Sing Along. And Air Jammin'.
Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Be there.
Hi, Harry.
Oh, hello, Ron.
Hello out there. I'm Ron Gagliardi, and since the last time you saw me in a promo, I've become a successful television executive.
And I'm Harry Fuzz, and I'm still a fuzz. If you'd like to have a program on public access,
And entertain your friends in Cheshire, Southington, and Meriden,
please call Dimension Cable at 634-4435.